Anistara Ma Ka here, who is the mother of 1111 Unified. She's an awakened leader and visionary pioneer. Her mission is to weave community together, co-creating multidimensional experiences for humanity's awakening. She is a lover of Mother Gaia and a steward of the new earth, be-earthing creative projects with a cause. She is an author, a mentor, a team leader, a ceremonial creatrix, healer, passionate woman on a purpose. She has taught at retreats and festivals around the world for over 2 decades. Her perspective is holistic and spiritual, while also being grounded in science. As a mother and an empath, her shares come from a heart-centered, compassionate place that is both touching and inspiring. And a little bit about my experience with her is that we connected because of the 1111 Unified event that happened last year, I believe, and in which I was asked to do a panel. And just, it was a great panel on unity consciousness. And I just really tuned into Anastara's energy, such an amazing woman doing such incredible work. And the passion and dedication to the upliftment in consciousness is epic. And the website, the 1111 website, that they're doing an 1111 event every year, but now hitting up other synchronistic numbers too, 222, you know, and more, that is really just cultivating that synchronistic energy and creating downloads on those specific days in order for us to really embody more of who we truly are. And so she's created a lot of amazing events and worked with so many people. She's been doing this work for some time. So Anastara, I'm just so happy that you're here. I'm really happy you're starting off this event too.
Thank you. Oh, such an honor to be here, Neil. Really, you are a true brother. Welcome, family of light, soul tribe. We are here doing the work, and through these solar flares, all of us are receiving light transmissions. And we are just so grateful to be here to start off the Portal to Ascension Summit weekend. It is such a deep honor. So I see that Brielle's in the room, and when she pops up the presentation, we'll get started there. But I'm just gonna say that as a mother and an empath, I've been feeling all of the energies that we've been going through on our planet right now. And I just want to honor and show respect and love and acknowledgement and compassion for each and every person and all of our paths. I believe that 1111 is a codex, that it can be found everywhere on the planet. It is actually a global phenomenon right now. And so I believe that this codex is a path to our awakening. No matter what culture or religion or upbringing you have, 1111 is something that a lot of people see around the world. And so here's that Portal to Ascension panel that Neil hosted last year for our 1111 Unified experience with some incredible speakers, and it was all about unity consciousness. And so we're so grateful to be here collaborating again. So I wanted to play some music in the background. This is from my beautiful friend Ruti Celli, and she's an improvisational cello player. And ultimately, all her music is done on the spot, 432 hertz. And it is all about being in the now. She has dedicated her life to the right brain art of what she calls intimate cello. And based on that right brain activity, this is all about creative powers and follows your internal authority, your intuition. It is an essential tool for the Ascension timeline and in the left break dominant world. All right, dears. So we'll just soak that up while we go through. Do you see 1111 all the time? I mean, sometimes I see it twice a day, and we'll see it in other places in our life. Maybe on an address that you're driving by. This is a hotel that we stayed at after our 1111 in 2020. You can even see it on the $100 bill. There's 1111, 1111. It is everywhere. Perhaps you can experience it during a special holiday. This was my family on Christmas last year. 1111 is a portal. It is a gateway. It is an angelic number. It reminds us that we are connected to source energy, to God, creator, goddess, whatever name you put it to. It is a tool for our ascension. Some people will stop and take a breath. Some people will make a wish. Some people will say a prayer. The point is the more that you see it, the more it's in your awareness, the more that you see it. And when we work with the number 1111, which symbolizes spirituality as well as enlightenment, then we are connected more to source and our higher selves, our true sacred selves, as we bring more light onto the planet. My husband and I have been 1111ers for many years. And we really started to acknowledge it community-wise by creating events every year. It started in our home at first. And essentially, it was just a small group of friends that we really wanted to bring together in sacred circle and say prayers. Brielle, go back to the next one, please. And say prayers. We started with the prayer for ourselves, then our family, our community, and the world. And we began this in 2009. And so 3 years later, we began the unification celebration. And this was actually a recommitment ceremony for my husband and I. It was our 5-year wedding anniversary. And it was a 3-day weekend retreat at the CYO camp here in Occidental, where we had music and workshops. And we really got to tune in together on a deep level before we had our unification ceremony. And throughout the years, it has progressed. So my husband and I, our last name is Kaus. Kaus. Next slide, please, Brielle. Kaus is our last name, and we added an E at the end to create Kaus. Kaus Creations. Kaus Creations, and we lost it. It's okay, it'll come back. Kaus Creations is creating causes in the world where we co-create causes with others. Important philanthropy work, as well as fundraising opportunities. And so we're just so grateful to be in collaboration with so many beautiful people. And our beautiful friend, Joyous, he shared with us a nonprofit transdimensional illumination. The original charter was teaching people about their multidimensionality. We have recently changed the charter to co-creating multidimensional experiences for our awakening. Then we began to see that this wasn't just going to be a live event. We wanted to create a virtual event. And so we renamed it 1111 Unify in 2020 and began creating a virtual event. The intention was to open the 1111 portal of unity around the world. And this was the website. You could see the diamonds, and these diamonds really represent the intention of 1111 Unify. And that was and is to go to sacred sites on 1111, where we receive sacred light code transmissions. And so we'll be taking tours to sacred sites in the future. And we really began to collaborate with beautiful, amazing, inspirational speakers. Here's one of our Wisdom Wednesday graphics with Kirsten Ligman. And she created the Hope 1111 event in 2020. And then we began to shift into the idea of, instead of attempting to unify, we wanted to claim that we were already unified. And so we rebranded the event to 1111 Unified. And so we went from 1111 Unified Global Gatherings to 1111 Unified Portal Gatherings, where we're creating a network of 1111 events all around the world. So if it's something that you already do and acknowledge in your community, tap in with us, please. We'll put you on our map. And that way we really create a network, a global network of 1111ers. We call you our 1111 tribe. And so here's the flyer from last year where we had, again, incredible speakers, awakened leaders, visionary pioneers, and music and workshops. And we were so grateful to be in collaboration with our sponsors and network partners. We really wanted to make sure that in a coherent way, all of our topics that we discuss really came from our core values and our guiding principles. And so you could see here our core values are what we stand for. Things like the non-aggression principle, the regenerative solutions, communal effort, renewable resources and sovereignty, civic responsibility, sustainability, cooperation and collaboration, and reciprocity and integrity, and self-governance and self-reliance. Our guiding principles are more on the esoteric field, where we talk about peacefulness and forgiveness, compassion and love, consciousness, natural health and well-being, authenticity, divine truth, coherence. Our theme last year was co-creating coherence, and we worked with the Heart Math Institute. Synchronicity and intuition, passion and purpose. Our unprogramming continues. We actually have a beautiful mastermind coming up on 5522. And as Neil mentioned, we really like to acknowledge the portal days. And so 5522 is a special portal day for us, where we'll be presenting the Divine Harmonics activations for Ascension, where we'll be giving you practical daily tools to use to help ground and center us as we're receiving more light codes. And so this year's event, the theme for 2022 is Seeding Our New Earth. And so this will be a hybrid event because we'll have a live event at our new retreat center called Joy Oasis in Occidental California. We will also be having the virtual event where we'll all tune in together at one specific moment in the day. And this will be the beginning of the hybrid events, where there'll be events all around the world that are happening live, but we all tune in virtually together at a particular moment. And I just love this because it is a dream come true. Earth Dance and other events have paved the way for all of us connecting together at one moment in time in meditation and the intention for global unity and peace. And so last year, I had the privilege of going to Egypt on a sacred pilgrimage. And really, it was just about coming back home, essentially receiving the codes at each of the sacred sites, the codes that are meant to come for me to share in the world. And all of us get activated when we are present at sacred sites. And when we do that together, collectively, in a community space as well, even more information comes through. Light is information. And so we will see that there are these codes at every sacred site on the planet. There are cave drawings that show, they call finger fluting. It's 4 fingers, because the number 1111 is the number 4, and the 4 is the builder of things that last. It doesn't mean building institutions or roads or things like this. It's about building our new earth and the knowing that we are all creators of our experience. And so it's on the esoteric level of what it is that we're building within ourselves. The new earth begins within. And so there's so many reasons and so many ways that you can see the 1111 codes, as well as there's 1111 is 22 as well. And so there's 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. There are 22 trumps of the tarot card. There are 22 paths in the Kala tree, the tree of life. And so 22, or a combination, is really ingrained in ancient civilizations and these sacred sites around the planet. And so here I wanted to share with you, this is a realization that happened after I was at the Osiris temple. This is called the Jed Pillar, for those of you who don't know. And the lightsaber that the Jedi uses in Star Wars is based off the Jed Pillar. It actually is a representation of Osiris's spine. And here we can see Osiris and Isis and Horus lifting it together as a family, the Holy Trinity, that neutral place between the polarity and the duality that we're experiencing in this 3D matrix. And as we lift that Jed pillar up together, you can see on a close-up here that there are 11 lines. If you start at the bottom and count them on the way up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then at the 11th level is unity. Unity from the experience of duality and polarity. And if you turn your head sideways, you can literally see an 1111 written on the Jed pillar. This was a huge code that came through for me, and literally I still have full body truth bumps when I speak about it and share about it. This is Isis on the throne in the same temple, and we won't count them here, but I'll tell you there are 11 lines or 10 lines, and she's sitting on the 11th level of the throne. So have you ever been to a temple space where you see doorways that seemingly go nowhere? These doorways or portals are entrances to other dimensions, to other places in space and time. And you can see, if you outline the doorway, that it also is an 1111. And so I lovingly called this the 1111 doorway at Osiris's temple. This is the dream stela. This is placed between the paws of the Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. And upon closer examination of this, I noticed that there are, again, 11, and there's 10 empty spaces, and the Sphinx is sitting at the 11th level. And so there's something to this. There really is. And I look forward to visiting Egypt with many of you so that we can go through what we believe are the codes that are coming from the hieroglyphs and from these ancient symbols. You can also see at the bottom of that there is a doorway and then 4 spaces above it. So I'm always looking at things through the lens of 1111. So here we have an example of there's many hieroglyphs like this that I saw in Egypt, and it's about the third eye activation. It's about decalcifying our pineal gland. It's about opening up to the energy, to the namaste, to the divine in me acknowledges the divine in you. That we are all divine, multidimensional beings of light inside these human bodies, experiencing the 3D matrix so that we can return home, we can return to unity, we can return to source. Here you can see a hieroglyph that shows energy inside the hands. And so it's really a symbol of mastering our energy, of taking the time to have embodiment practices, meditation, yoga, whatever it is that you feel called to. I was a dancer and am a dancer most of my life, and so my meditation is usually through movement. And when you get into that flow zone and you're really connecting to the energy of the unified field and moving through it. Yes. This was in the the lower part of Hathor's temple. And here you can see the blue lotus flower at the bottom, that entheogenic experience that influences the Kundalini rising, that we have opportunities to connect to source and to truly understand uh, the divine plan, the cosmic order of it all. And again, this is about moving our energy. And here you'll see a close-up of the center there. This is a rendition of the Jed Pillar. Again, that 1111 portal, that 1111 gateway, holding up the experience of our Kundalini rising, supporting our ascension. This was one of my favorite pyramids. It's Saqqara. It actually doesn't even really look like a pyramid. It was almost a pile of rubble on the outside. But when you go down inside where the sarcophagus is, I turned around and this entire wall just called out to me, because we could see the 1111 very clearly in many places. And again, they're talking about energy, or also water, that the full moon, that the cycles of the moon actually influence us on a deep cellular level, because we are mostly water. And just as the moon moves the water and the tides of the oceans on the planet, it also moves the water within us. And so working with water during this time is really important. As we're being bombarded by all kinds of solar flares and energies, we want to remind ourselves, we want to remember the value of spending time by water, moving water that has negative ions, or spending time in water, whether it's salt baths or a hot tub, or you put your feet in the ocean. It is crucial to remember that water is a key aspect to our ascension. This ultimately was one of my most favorite places in all of Egypt. This is outside the temple of Isis in Philae. And on either side of the door are these big hieroglyphs. And on the right, you can see, again, another rendition of the Jed Pillar with that 1111. It's sideways. And then on the other side, there's this big kind of popsicle looking hieroglyph with the 1111 going right through it. And that hieroglyph in particular, I've been told, is literally a portal to another dimension. And so here I'm standing in the doorway between these two very powerful symbols. And I lovingly call it the 1111 portal at Isis Temple. And we will be there. We actually will be at this temple, at this portal, on 11/11/2024, where we're bringing a group of people, sacred pilgrimage, and essentially touring Egypt starting October 26th and going to November 14th. And on 11/11, we have private access to this particular place in the Isis Temple, or beside the Isis Temple, on 11/11 for 11:11 p.m. 2024. And so, family, we invite you to have your light codes activated, to visit sacred sites with us. We will be touring many different places throughout the world in the coming years, and we invite you to come and experience it with us as we have our light codes activated together. Thank you for allowing me to share 11/11, a path to our awakening. If you'd like to find out more about the virtual event, or you want to be involved, become a network partner or a speaker, or be one of the live events that is connected to our 1111 Unified network, you can find us at 1111unified.com. And also, I am here in service to humanity's awakening. And I really love mentoring awakening women. So this Anastara.com, you can find out more about transformational mentoring for awakening women. Thank you, beloved family, for the opportunity to share today. My apologies for a little bit rushing through it, but I feel like got to really share exactly what my heart wanted to share today. Thank you, Neil, for having me here. Thank you, Brielle, for being here. And for those of you who are in Mountain Time, this went through 11:11 a.m. So sending those beautiful vibrations to each and every one of you. Have a
Beautiful.
beautiful, blessed day and enjoy your Portal to Ascension Summit experience. The temple doors are open.
Thank you so much, Anastara. You're so amazing. I loved we've been connected for a year now, but you just in that time alone, your evolution and growth and all the things you're doing are just so amazing. So I just appreciate you. You know, we're doing this together, just moving forward, and we all have our own roles to play in this. And I really honor your role. So thank you.